Energy is never stagnant, it cannot be destroyed, it only changes form. This is not just science, this is spiritual law, and it governs everything in your life, from your thoughts and emotions, to your health, your relationships, your finances, and your destiny. Welcome to Beyond the Veil. This is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, a universal law that whispers, nothing stays the same unless you keep feeding it. If you feel stuck, heavy, anxious, or unfulfilled, this law is your way out, because it reminds you, you are not fixed. Your life is not frozen. Your pain is not permanent. Everything can shift. Everything is already shifting. And you are the one directing it. We live in a sea of energy. Every thought you think sends out a frequency. Every emotion you feel broadcasts a signal. Every belief you hold creates a template for your experiences. But here's the key. Higher vibrations always have the power to transmute lower ones. This is the secret behind emotional healing, spiritual transformation, and energetic mastery. The moment you bring love to fear, fear dissolves. The moment you bring light to shadow, shadow disappears. The moment you raise your frequency, your entire reality starts to recalibrate. That's the law of perpetual transmutation at work. Let's simplify the name. Perpetual means constant, ongoing, never stopping. Transmutation means to transform, to change one state into another. So this law tells us, energy is always moving, and it's always open to being transformed. That's good news, because it means that your past doesn't define you. Your trauma doesn't own you. Your circumstances don't imprison you. You are not a victim of your vibration, you are the alchemist of it. You may have heard this said in spiritual circles, energy flows where attention goes. That's because whatever you focus on, you're feeding. You're energizing it, activating it, shaping it. If you focus on your lack, the energy of lack expands. If you focus on love, abundance, peace, those energies begin to transmute what was once fear, chaos, or scarcity. Your awareness is a creative force. This is why healing isn't about fighting your darkness, it's about raising your light. Because the law of perpetual transmutation doesn't work through force, it works through frequency. When you elevate your vibration, everything below it begins to rise. You don't have to fix the old. You just have to raise the new. Now let's go deeper. Everything you experience in the physical world began as energy first. That means your bank account is energy, your body is energy, your relationships, your business, your creativity, it's all vibrating. If something is not working, it's not because you're cursed, it's because the energy underneath it needs to be transmuted. And guess what? You can do that, right now, with your intention, with your attention, with your emotion, with your vibration. You are not separate from the field, you are the field in form, and that means you hold the power to shift, redirect, elevate, and completely transmute anything that feels out of alignment. This is what the mystics knew. This is what alchemists practiced, not turning lead into gold, but turning fear into power, turning pain into purpose, turning shame into sacredness. Let me tell you a truth that most people never hear. You don't have to stay in suffering just because you've been there a long time. You don't owe your identity to your pain. The law of perpetual transmutation says, you are allowed to change, you are allowed to let go, you are allowed to evolve, because life is not meant to be static, it's meant to be alchemical. So stop asking, why am I stuck? Start asking, where am I resisting flow? Because energy is always ready to shift. The question is, are you? So how do we work with this law consciously? 1. Raise your vibration. High vibe energy automatically begins to transform lower frequencies. Gratitude, laughter, movement, breath, creativity, stillness. These are tools of transmutation. 2. Stop feeding what you want to change. Every time you focus on what's wrong, you reinforce it. Instead, redirect your energy to what you want to grow. 3. Understand your emotions are energy in motion. Anger, grief, jealousy, fear. They're not wrong, they just want to move. Let them, feel them, dance them, cry them, breathe through them. They will transmute if you let them flow. 4. Use visualization and intention. Your imagination is a quantum tool. See your pain transforming into strength. See your fear dissolving into light. See your life shifting upward, frequency by frequency. 5. Declare your new state out loud. Words carry vibration. Speak life into your energy field. Say, I now transmute this fear into power. I release what no longer serves and align with love. I am the alchemist of my reality. Your voice is a wand. What about shadow work? The law of perpetual transmutation is the foundation of all inner healing. When you meet your shadows with love, not judgment, they begin to dissolve. You don't have to relive the wound to heal it. You just have to bring enough light to it that it no longer runs the show. Your job is not to be perfect, it's to stay aware, to keep shifting, to keep choosing the higher frequency. Because the old you, the wounded you, the version that played small, stayed silent, or gave away your power, that version is just energy, and it can be transformed. Right now, by your will, by your choice, by your vibration. Now let's get metaphysical. The ancient Hermeticists taught that all is mind. The mental plane is the blueprint for the physical plane. So when you shift your thoughts, your energy follows. When you shift your energy, your reality follows. That's the cycle. You are not just a body, you are a field of influence. Everything you think, feel, and believe sends ripples outward. So when you transmute your inner world, you contribute to the collective. This is why your healing helps others, why your awakening lifts the grid, why your shift in frequency opens portals for others to step through. You are not just healing for you, you are a node in the network of human evolution, and the more you raise your frequency, the more you create space for the planet to heal too. Let's bring it home. If you remember one thing from this entire message, let it be this: nothing is fixed, everything is frequency, and you are the frequency keeper. There is no emotion you can't shift, no belief you can't rewrite, no experience you can't transform. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to choose, moment by moment, to raise the energy, to choose a higher thought, to breathe into your body, to feel what's there and let it move, because the universe is never static, and neither are you. You are becoming, you are evolving, you are transmuting with every breath. So don't ask, can I change? Ask, what energy am I ready to transform right now? That's where your power is, not in controlling life, but in aligning with the law that governs it, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Be the alchemist, be the light bringer, be the soul who transforms their shadows into sacredness, because that is who you were born to be. And the energy? It's already shifting. Subscribe for more ancient wisdom and hidden truths. This is Beyond the Veil. Until next time, stay aligned.